Hello and welcome to my channel. I am going to be starting my booktube today. I've been wanting to make a channel for a really long time, and what better place to do it than YouTube? There's really no better time than the present. So this is gonna be a what I read in a week. I am a freelance marketer and event coordinator. I have a pretty unconventional schedule, and that means I have a lot of time to read. Okay, that honestly took me way too long to find, but I'm starting out with Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I've read most of her books on my Kindle, so I do have a copy of this on my Kindle as well. But I read the Windy City series, and my favorite one out of that whole series was Caught Up, which is a single dad romance. And I've heard that this whole series is single dad romances. Ford Grant. Wait, is Ford Grant? That's not the dad in Flawless, is it? No. No, it's not. Okay, sorry, sidetracked. But I'm gonna start this now and see how far I get. I think I'm just gonna jump right in, honestly. So far, I'm on page 30, and he's met his kid. Then we're jumping to Rosalie, who was just essentially assaulted at her job by her boss, and she, I think, is gonna get fired. Yeah, they haven't met yet, but that's a little bit of backstory about their characters. Anyway, yeah, I'm liking it so far. I read one where the dad wasn't involved with the kid's life. Like, he finds out a child is a teenager. He's like, oh, I was 19 and I needed concert tickets, essentially is what he said to her, which I'm like, we could filter a little bit, but go off. Okay, don't hate me, but it is the next day. I didn't end up reading anymore yesterday. I got bogged down with work. And then I literally fell asleep as this was downloading onto my Kindle. Basically, where we're at still is she just got fired, and I kind of don't like the way he's interacting with the daughter. I get he just found out that he has a biological daughter. She just kind of like showed up on his doorstep, was like, hey. He says like, I didn't F Morticia Adams because she's like emo or like goth. So I was like, that's kind of a weird thing to say to a teenager as a grown man, but maybe I'm judging too early. But I did want to catch you up that it is now Tuesday and it's time to read. Good morning. It is Wednesday and I am officially 10 chapters into Wild Love. I'm definitely liking it a lot more, and I thought I would talk about it while I do some last touches to my makeup before my meeting. Basically, where we're at in the book, we've gotten a little bit more context on like Rosalie's background, which in my opinion is kind of lacking. Normally I'm not a tough critic, but I don't know if it's because I haven't read one of Elsie's books in a while, but I'm not really like feeling it. It's kind of brother's best friend, so her brother, who also has a little kid, and I'm definitely thinking he gets a book in the series, was best friends with him. I love that trope. So I'm like, okay, here we go. I'll take it. I like that it's dual POV because getting his point of view and that he's nervous and he's always awkward with her, and I have been for years, but like she's so off limits. Okay, like I'm a little bit more sat for that. Anyway, I'm liking it more and realize biological father, and I like that we get a little bit of his daughter's story. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I really want to finish this book today. My rating system, I can talk a little bit about that actually. So 1 star means like absolutely hated it. 2 stars is like I really didn't like it, but I can see why other people do. 3 stars is like it wasn't perfect, but I enjoyed it, you know? I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to everyone, which I think is where most of Elsie Silver's books sit. And I mean, I'm not really reading a cowboy romance to have my life changed. It's more about escapism and like enjoying myself. 4 stars means not perfect, but I loved it and I would recommend it. 5 stars is it's on my favorites list. I'm thinking about this after I read it for years and years. Like honestly, all the books that I've rated 5 stars, I've thought about pretty often if someone's like, oh, I need a book. For all of my best friends, I've recommended Beach Read by Emily Henry. So those are books that I'm like, I would recommend it to literally almost everyone. I passionately love it and I think about it all the time, and it's made the short list for me. Obviously, book ratings are very personal and I don't think there's like a wrong or right. It's subjective, but all that to say, wow, I'm in such a yapping mood this morning. Hello guys. I have been reading Wild Love pretty much all day off and on. It's growing on me. I really am liking learning more about their history and like their dynamic. I also have a feeling brother's not actually gonna care. He's a grown man with a child. I don't think it's not like high school anymore, you know? Should also be noted that Ford, for the first time, has given me butterflies while reading this book because I have like a little moment and she's like, are you single? And he says, yes. And he asks her and she says, I don't know. And he like tugs on her ponytail and he's like, next time you ask, make sure you know your answer. That's cute. I liked that. So that's his redeeming moment so far. Hi guys. I'm going to be fixing my makeup while I talk to you because I did pick my face and I have to go to this. Oh yeah, I'm in a new location. I am in Orlando for a friend's wedding. I did in fact finish Wild Love on the plane, which the first part of the book was so uneventful. Reading the second part of that book on a plane, like essentially the second half, was really brave. So yeah, the book has like no spice until it does. So just a fair warning in case any of you guys are planning to get on a plane while you read that. Or the book definitely got better and I started to like it a lot more. I think the reason why is because the banter picked up. I wouldn't say that they had like the best chemistry I'd ever read. I think that would be why I would dock it a star, honestly, because I didn't really get why they were so into each other. Childhood friends, so it's kind of weird that they wouldn't have the kind of chemistry that I'm talking about, but they really didn't. Definitely grew, the banter grew. I started to like Ford's character a lot more towards the middle of the book. I think I just had to get over like the first 30%. I've actually gone on Goodreads and looked, and it seems like that's a pretty common theme. People either love it and it's like 4.5, 5 stars, or it's like complete opposite. And I wouldn't say they were either for me. I would probably rate this maybe like 3 stars. It was more so like entertaining. It had a lot of the tropes that I love. Between Cora and the emails, it definitely lightened up Ford's character because for a while I was like, are you sure? I know you're saying you like this girl, but do you like this girl? Also, it's Elsie Silver, so like I just enjoy her writing generally. But this definitely wasn't my favorite from her. I would say it's honestly my least favorite from her. All that to say, I finished the book. I liked it. I rated it 3 stars, and I would recommend it if you're an Elsie Silver girly and you like the single dad trope. But I have started this book, which I saw Sarah recommend because she was doing the like reading other booktubers 5-star reads, and that was one of them. When she was describing it, I was like, I need to read this book. Like, I don't get what she's saying, but like I want to, you know? So I've got 2 chapters into that. I'll probably read more tonight, depending on how early I get in. So far, where I'm at in the new book, I am really liking the writing. I don't understand. There's basically like different groups. So there's one that lives on the water and one that lives on the land. So the ones that are on the water, like essentially live full-time on boats. Like that's where their entire like population is. And so where I'm at, there's also, I'm like, is there gonna be like a love triangle? But I'm excited to read more of that and to read a fantasy book. And the world building around this one sounds so cool. I really recommend you go check out Sarah's videos. I know I keep referencing Sarah, but like She's why I'm reading this book completely. I watched it and like I'm making this booktube video, but I love booktube. Literally, I'm like, oh, can't wait after dinner, like seeing everyone's gonna be so fun. But then I get to climb into bed. I'm gonna cast Zoella's video for Vlogmas, Sarah's video for Bookmas, Steph's video for Vlogmas, and then I'm going to watch Hot Mess. It honestly helps me wind down so much, and otherwise, like, this sounds stupid, but I get like really bad anxiety at social situations, and I've dealt with that a lot more, so I don't have social anxiety in the sense of in the moment, but sometimes I'll really overthink like interactions after the fact. So I need things on the TV, I need to be listening to music, like even I really look forward to my downtime and my like little distraction time, and it's helped me a lot. So if you overthink interactions, I actually don't know if I should be like recommending distracting yourself, but it works for me not to overthink. So like whatever your coping skill is, that is mine. And December is the perfect time because it's when I watch Vlogmas and now Bookmas. Also, oh my gosh, you guys, I was in an aisle seat and the girl next to me was reading this book, and the whole time I was like eyeing it because I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I've read the book. You all like say something. I realize it's a Throne of Glass book that she bought Crescent City, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to read that next year, but I've been kind of, you know, scared, and I don't know, I was just so happy when I got in my little Uber. Thanks for listening to me ramble. It was really fun. Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. I did not record at all yesterday. I was way too busy with the wedding. I think we were going from like 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. If you've ever been in a wedding, you know. But I came back and I was like, I'm gonna read a little bit. And I think I read like half a chapter and fell asleep. But I've been reading some more this morning. But I'm 13% into the Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider, and I am loving it. It's so cool. The world building is like very unique. I'm honestly still trying to grasp it fully, but it's so cool. So I think if you're looking for a fantasy book that's just different and fresh, I really recommend this one. How it starts, and again, no spoilers, I'm only like 10-ish% in. The Aloha people are the ones that live on the water. The Kinta people are the ones that live on land. So there's a group of Aloha. Our narrator is an Aloha. She goes onto land. That's kind of like right where it starts. It definitely starts in the action, so it grips you right away. You're like, wait, what's going on? Like something sketchy is going on. She's being followed by this soldier essentially, but she's going through these markets, like trying to like get this guy away from her because he's like trailing her. There's like a scuffle happening and stuff, and all of a sudden there's an explosion. Basically where I'm at in the book. I'm 6 chapters in. I want to say I'm on chapter 6. But it's really fun. I also want to say thank you so much for watching, especially if you've gotten to this far in the video. It's been so fun to do Bookmas. I've been watching Bookmas, Vlogmas, all these things for years, like I told you, and it's really fun to like yap about books. Hopefully there's another update in here and I am able to finish the book, which would be nice. Hi guys, I'm home from my trip, and I am obsessed with the Metal Slinger. I cannot emphasize it enough. If you need a romantasy book to get you out of a slump, that's going to be quick, that's going to have all the right romantasy tropes that you want, pick up this book, because I'm like dying over it right now. I do fear it could be like the mid-book, you know, climax, so it's like really good right now. But I think if there's not like an awful turn in this book, it's gonna be a 4.5 or 5 star for me. I'm obsessed with it. I can't really get into more because the plot just like changes and evolves so much, and there's so much depth to these characters and their stories, and even like the world building and stuff in this book is like really unlike anything I've ever read, like I said before, but it just continues to get crazier and crazier. So I will say this, there are, like when I was talking about romantasy quotes, there are like essentially her and the love interest are enemies to lovers. There is a touch her and all you energy through the whole thing. There's he gets hurt and she's like stitching him up. He literally, while she's doing that, he's like, do your worst. I won't say any more quotes because there's so many little nuggets of like romantasy, chef's kiss in there. I think it'll be fun to leave off on this note, and if you've read it or have any video ideas, comment them down below. This was so fun. A little recap. Wild Love, I would say, is probably in hindsight like 2.5, 3 stars. Metal Slinger for my romantasy book. Girlies out there, and thank you for watching this video. Love ya.